I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
One of my most favorite quotes from MLK is, service is the rent that you pay here on earth. And I believe that all of my work has been guided by that understanding, that we have a commitment and a responsibility to be part of this global world where everyone matters.
I believe that Dr. King's vision for a brighter future for America was one that was completely inclusive, where everyone's voice counted and everyone mattered. That's important to me.
He became really a prophet about economic justice. That's really one of, I think, the most foundational pieces of his dream. And that's one that we have not realized today.
He was a very, I think, respected man who knew how to convey his ideas, not in like an authoritarian or like a dictator like kind of method or strategy. He just wanted to make sure that everybody's voices were heard in a calm manner.
Dr. King helped people for the fair right to be equal for each person.
When I think of his phrase, I have a dream, I then think of adelante, which is a Spanish word we use to move forward. Right? He had this dream that there would be changes in the community as we move forward, that there would no longer be these issues.
I think it's one that's a clarion call, and I don't think that we're there yet. And I think that's why days of service like this that honor his legacy are so important, because we have more work to do to really knit together the social fabric that he imagined.
Every human being is intrinsically and equally valuable. And I don't know that we're living that today. So it's helpful to help remember that and use his message and use his words to bring that back to the fore. We are living in very divided times right now. So it's helpful to remember that he used quiet strength to improve the lives of many, many people in his own community and throughout the United States.
We'll never fully achieve the dream, but just as the old saying goes, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
I would say just understand, like, regardless of like race, we all come from like different religions, different like mindsets, political beliefs.
We keep the dream alive by giving more people the opportunity to understand the privilege and benefits that they have in their lives and how they can share those with other people around them. I think a lot of people don't think that they have the power to make change, and by giving people the opportunity to understand their power is one of the best ways that we can continue his dream.
I think back to my own story. I think back to the story of my parents, who were both immigrants who came here with no money and no education. And the only reason we made it in this country is because people took an interest in us and they wanted to see us succeed, and they put personal energy, love, and attention into lifting us up. And I think that's what we're all called to do.
We should stand up and be advocates for righteousness and truth and justice in all ways and all occasions. When we see something that's unfair or unjust, we have an obligation as well as a responsibility to step up and say that something is unfair and do what we can to correct that action.
I absolutely love living here in Arlington. We have a lot of progressive values, but even here, there's still a lot of accidental or legacy segregation.
Civic engagement is such a huge piece in when we use the power of our voices, whether that's at the local level, at the state level, or even at the federal level. We're in Washington, D.C. We have the Capitol right here. We have the ability to go knock on doors. We have the ability to write letters to our representatives. By using our voice, by using the basic skills that we have today, that's how we can be able to make change moving forward. The everlasting change we hope to see starts today.
In our life, our community, our work, our family, your religious community, where there are people whom you can have conversations with, there are people whom you can push to think about who's not at the table, there are people who have the power to legislate, who have the power to change what goes on in their offices, and each one of us has access to that. Nobody doesn't. You can all use that sphere of influence. Like an idea whose time has come, not even the marching of mighty armies can halt us. We are moving to the land of freedom. Let us therefore continue our triumph and march to the realization of the American dream.
Be the dream.
Be the dream.
Sé el sueño.
Be the dream.
Be the dream.
Seja o sonho.
Be the dream.
Be the dream.
كون الحلم.
Be the dream.
Be the dream.